So everyone's talking about Blizzard suing TurtleWoW, but what does the lawsuit actually say? I went through the complaint, which will be linked in the description, and honestly, it reads more like a crime thriller than a fan project takedown. Today we're going through the wildest and most important details straight from Blizzard's filing. Let's start with the allegations. Blizzard isn't just saying, hey, you copied our game. They have stacked up a mountain of charges. The complaint accuses TurtleWoW of direct copyright infringement, of copying Blizzard's code, art, music, and lore. It also says they committed contributory and vicarious infringement, meaning not only did the team infringe themselves, they also helped others infringe by distributing a modified game client and encouraging players to use it. Blizzard also claims TurtleWoW broke the DMCA by altering the game client to bypass Blizzard's normal server protections. They argue that TurtleWoW misled players through false designation of origin by using Blizzard's marks in a way that could confuse people into thinking it was official. And they even say TurtleWoW was guilty of intentional interference by convincing players to break their end-user license agreement with Blizzard when they joined the private server. Up to this point, it's aggressive but expected in a copyright case. But then Blizzard drops the bomb. They invoke RICO, the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. Yes, the same law created to go after the mafia. For anyone unfamiliar, a RICO was designed to target organized crime families, rackets, and large-scale unlawful enterprises. It's the law that lets prosecutors go after mob bosses who gave the orders even if they didn't commit the crimes themselves, and Blizzard is using it against TurtleWoW. According to Blizzard, TurtleWoW wasn't just a fan server, it was a multinational criminal enterprise. They argue that the team coordinated across countries, systematically circumvented Blizzard's protections, used donations as a disguised form of profit, and planned to expand even further with the Unreal Engine 5 remake. In Blizzard's words, TurtleWoW is a global operation built entirely on illegal activity. Why go this far? Because bringing in RICO lets Blizzard demand treble damages, which is 3 times the normal amount. It also widens the scope of liability. With RICO, Blizzard can argue that everyone involved, from the core developers to payment processors and even hosts, was part of the same unlawful enterprise. It's one of the most aggressive legal strategies I've seen in a gaming lawsuit. Most copyright suits don't even touch RICO, but Blizzard is sending a message. TurtleWoW is not just a fan project. In their view, it is organized crime. Now let's look at what Blizzard wants. The section called the Prayer for Relief lays it all out. They want immediate and permanent shutdown of all servers. They want the TurtleWoW domain name handed over. They want all data deleted, including expansions like Mysteries of Azeroth. They want TurtleWoW's Discord and social media accounts taken offline. They want service providers, hosting companies, and payment processors forced to cut ties. And on top of all that, they want a full accounting of every dollar ever earned, plus damages of up to $150,000 per infringed work, DMCA penalties, and attorney fees. If Blizzard gets even half of that, TurtleWoW won't just be shut down, the people behind it could be financially ruined. So what does this all mean? If Blizzard succeeds, TurtleWoW will be erased. The code, the community, the website, the expansion, all of it gone. And Blizzard is clearly aiming to make an example out of this server, so that no other fan project dares to grow this big again. It's Blizzard saying, Azeroth belongs to us, and if you try to build your own version, we will treat you like a criminal syndicate. Now the bigger picture here is fascinating, because while Blizzard is legally in the right, TurtleWoW proved something Blizzard hasn't. That there is huge demand for new content in the classic world. People don't just want nostalgia, they want Classic Plus, and TurtleWoW gave them that. The big question now is whether Blizzard will fill that gap themselves. Remember, Nostalrius was shut down in 2016, and out of the ashes of that controversy, Blizzard eventually launched official Classic. Could the death of TurtleWoW spark the birth of an official Classic Plus? It's possible. And it would be ironic if Blizzard once again found itself pressured to deliver what a fan community already built. So now that you've heard the actual details from the lawsuit, what do you think? Did Blizzard go too far by treating TurtleWoW like a criminal empire? Or are they just doing what they have to do to protect World of Warcraft? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop them down in the comments. I'll be reading through. And if you want more deep dives into this lawsuit, into WoW's history, and into what might come next for Classic Plus, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and share this with your guildmates, because one thing's for sure, this story isn't over. Take care.